I want to move on to Loki because I watched everything. I watched all the episodes, and I have mixed feelings about it. There were parts of it I liked, but then my overwhelming feeling was like, okay, yeah, they really seem to be doing their best to just like squish Loki down because like coming out of all like the last Avengers movie, he was like this cocky, showboaty, confident, like kind of untouchable character. And while I liked seeing more of Tom Hiddleston, and I think he's a really great actor, and like and did the best he could, and kind of like carried so many of the episodes. Like I was like, okay, but the overarching theme here is like, how do we squish him? How do we knock him off his confidence, or no matter what? And even like I kind of liked that he was sort of like falling in love. Like if you could, forget for a second that it was the other version of himself, you're like, okay, is this the character arc? He's getting sweeter. He's kind of seeming like he's learning from his mistakes. And then of course, when he finally makes himself vulnerable, he gets rejected from the female Loki. So I mean, part of me did like that, but I did feel like there was the overarching theme of just try to make him look bad and powerless at every turn and kind of insulting.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many scenes where what's the bit where he's being punished and he's stuck in this time loop where like one of the characters from
Oh yeah,
the
he
Thor
keeps
movies
getting
comes in and she just knocks him out and kicks him in the balls like over and over again, and like every
in
time
slightly different ways each time. Like it's not
yeah,
even, yeah.
and she's like, ha, pathetic. And there's so many moments where he has to admit that he's a weak person who's always craved attention, and that's why he does bad things. And all of that stuff is just designed to break down the character. And when you're done breaking him down like that, what are you really left with? You've just got this kind of weak, sniveling brat who's not even particularly intelligent anymore, and he just kind of follows other people around. Trying to get their attention, not understanding what's going on. Everyone else has got more agency than him, particularly female Loki, obviously. And so you've got a hero that you don't care about and you don't respect anymore. That's not good. That's not a good basis for a story. He can certainly have growth and he can have moments where he's vulnerable or he's outmatched, but give him a basic level of competency at least. They don't even do that. And that's the problem that so many people have with this show. It just, like you say, it breaks him down and it doesn't really build him back up again. And it's frustrating.
All the while, like female Loki is just like, it's weird. It's like, okay, if they are having these real moments together, it's just she was, and I'm not gonna say she was like a bad actress, but like she wasn't showing any like her emotional range was like beep. And I don't know if that's on purpose. They didn't want her to seem soft and like traditionally feminine in any way.
The best moment that epitomizes all of this is there's a bit where they're sitting together. I think they're about to go into their final encounter, and Loki's sitting there and he's like, "Oh, it's cold." Now, Loki's a frost giant. Just for people watching, that's his heritage. He's not from Asgard. He's a frost giant, so he shouldn't really feel cold anyway. But the fact that a man's sitting there doing that, and she's just completely not interested. She's like, "I'm not feeling it." So he conjures up a blanket that goes over him to keep him warm, and then eventually he puts it over that to what could have been a nice scene. It could have been her complaining that she was cold. Show just a tiny moment of vulnerability. And he says, "Okay, I've got the ability to help you a little bit," and he conjures up a blanket for her. That would have been a nice scene. It would have worked perfectly well, but they have to subvert it, and they have to make him look like the weak one, as always. And it's just so tiresome.
That would have been
happens
lovely.
again and again.
Right, he's from basically like Scandinavian background, like can handle the cold. Right, men are always too hot, women are always too cold. It's like can we keep that one tiny kernel of truth in there that like chicks are usually
I don't want to generalize, but it's pretty rare that a woman's going to complain about being like hot and a man isn't.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yep. And you're just like, is she falling for him too? Is she just pretend? I don't know. I would have liked to see more connection or between the two of them. So I don't know if she was like purposely playing it at a distance, or just maybe there's lack of chemistry there, or they were just telling him to just, puss it up a little more.